happening?
Weird.
You know, someone said that frickin' Panera's Pepsis taste funny.
Better.
No, I mean,
What?
Oh, wrong screen. Welcome, everyone, to the Average Intelligence Podcast. Sorry for that flash of OBS there.
yes.
OBS. OBS, the blessing and curse that it is.
Yes. Sorry, turn my volume up. I just want to make sure I
I can't hear you. Did I have your... Sorry, I have to look at OBS and YouTube. Nope, you are allegedly... I can hear you, but I don't know if YouTube can hear you.
Oh.
So we'll check that real quick. OBS, the blessing and curse that it is.
Yes. Oh, I can hear you on mine. I can hear me on mine. I mean.
I can't hear you. Did I have your... Sorry, I have to look at OBS and YouTube. No, This you are allegedly super weird.
I can hear me.
I can hear you, but I don't know if YouTube can hear you. I, however, am obscenely loud. Okay, yep, there you are. And I'm going to turn myself down.
I can hear me. Hold on. There we go.
Turn myself
now
down a
volume
bit.
down.
That's live TV.
Gotta do those. Yeah, I know. You gotta do those sound checks. That's why we have what we call the YouTube preamble over on
Yeah,
the show.
because otherwise you talk for 10 minutes and nobody can hear you. And then finally, hopefully, somebody says, you don't have audio.
Yeah. Hopefully, one of your many podcast friends is checking you out. Otherwise, you do an entire 1-year anniversary special and nobody hears you.
Well, okay, but Haley, I guess now's a good time. I'm going to go way deeper on this movie than I should. So, spoiler alert. Hardcore spoiler alert.
What
I will give
did
away.
say?
Swear to God, if Justin spoils anything, I'm going after him.
I'm not allowed to say bad things about Stranger Things. She gets mad at me when I do.
Oh, that show sucks.
Oh, okay, good. Apparently, the last season's really bad.
I shouldn't say
bad.
it sucks, but I couldn't even. I think I got 8 minutes in, and I'm like, I'm fucking done. The last thing I remember is the sheriff going into. It was either a school or a cafe or something, and I'm just like, I'm fucking bored. And I loved the movie Nuremberg, which was almost 3 hours of courtroom scenes.
Oh man, I want to watch that movie so bad.
It's so good, dude. It's so good. Okay.
You talked about wanting to watch it again. I may invite you on our show so we can talk about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about probably the most surprising movie we've ever talked about on the Average Intelligence Podcast.
Legit. Like, it was a simultaneously surprising, but also yet not surprising text message. Because on the one hand, I'm like, this really just doesn't seem like it's your game. It's your jam. And then, but on the other hand, I'm like, we just did a 3-hour podcast where we talked about Godzilla and we've talked about anime many a time. And this is like so anime coded that it's hard not to.
You know what's funny? It in terms of animation, it is, but this movie's way better than your average anime. It doesn't.
I'm on like.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say. Sorry. I was going to say an overall aesthetic and energy. It reminded me of like Sailor Moon. It reminded me of Sailor Moon. It really was giving me Sailor Moon.
So what I mean by that, though, is let's be honest here, and I don't mean this disparagingly, but anime's pretty tropey. Like,
true.
You know, and this, I feel this fell into some of the animation tropes, although it's pretty innovative. It's mostly with facial and what's the word I'm looking for? When something's like loud, like really big. Oh god, exaggeration. It's very anime coded in exaggeration, but every other time it's the facial animators, whoever did the animation for faces, Jeff's Kiss. Um,
So am I to understand, not to bury the lead here, but am I to understand you love this movie like I do?
I don't know that I would say I really, really liked it.
Okay, hey man, that's strong praise.
I have one complaint, but it's a me thing. It's not a movie because it's like I didn't like it, but I understand completely why they did it, and we'll get there. But tonight, just want to let everybody know that tonight's podcast is brought to you, not bought to you, brought to you by Debbie Lynn's first book in the Unveiled book series, Revival. And you will hear more about that later, and along with the Spur of the Moment podcast, where you can check out this guy right here every Saturday.
I have to say that is Sunday.
Sunday, sorry, yeah, it's Sunday now.
I have to say the Debbie Lynn thematically relevant. I would say.
Why do you think it's the sponsor?
Yeah, brilliant. Solid work.
Okay, so K-pop Demon Hunters. I gotta lead with this. This is a movie that I didn't know existed until, of course, TikTok, because TikTok is how I find out about most new things these days.
Same.
And my initial thought was, oh, that's nice for the kids. I won't be watching that.
Same.
Then I heard Soda Pop.
Really? That's the one?
That's the catalog. Well, that's not the one. That's the one that got me. And that's why the scene in the movie is so funny, because that's a song I did not want to like, but I found myself being like...
Right? A lot of the songs... I mean, for me it was Golden. I love Golden.
See, I don't... it's growing on me. I don't love Golden.
It's not my favorite. My favorite is the last one. This is what it feels. This is what it sounds like. To me, that's the best song in the movie.
My two favorite songs are the Soulja Boy songs, so that says a lot about me.
Okay, but also that is fair. Your idol is like moi. So
that's the best one, and we're gonna go into your idol, because it's so. And that I guess is what I love about this movie, is because there's so much going on in the details that if you don't know what's going on, you're not necessarily losing anything from the movie itself. But if you know what's going on, it's like, wow, they're doing a lot with a little here, and it's done incredibly well. So, what's that? Golden and How It's Done. How It's Done is a good intro song, but
it's okay. It's not my favorite.
And I actually don't like Takedown at all. But you're not. I'm not
a big fan of Takedown.
But you're not supposed to like Takedown.
No, you're not. You're not supposed to. But I like it better in the movie, I've discovered, than it is on the soundtrack. Because it's funny, we crap on Wicked for splitting up songs, but I really like how they split up that song in the movie. Same thing with Golden. Yeah. I like it better in how it's splayed out across the movie. It makes that song more effective, in my opinion, narratively more effective.
But this is how, like, that's why it's funny, because in the movie, Soda Pop is presented and described as a song that is addictively catchy, and it is. And my wife and I now have a running joke where we just look at each other and bob our shoulders.
That's funny. But yeah, that's the point. It's supposed to be addictive, because that's them luring you in.
Dimas says it. He's like, it's catchy, and I'm like, I know. Yeah. It's almost like Demons wrote this song for you to be like.
Okay. I love the thing. Since I've watched this movie, its cultural impact for me is the thing that gets me every time.
I love it. Actually, they said this on Cinema Therapy. Jonathan did. I don't know if you watched their show, but they did an episode on it, and he said, I'm super psyched that we live in a world where K-pop Demon Hunters is the #1 movie.
I said something similar when the BTS meal came to McDonald's in Canada,
right?
And I was like, when I was a teenager, anime was niche. Like, J-pop was niche. Like, my friends would be like, do you know what J-pop is? Like, this is incredible.
I was in the same boat, but in our circle, J-pop was...
So you live in middle America, so, like...
Yeah.
Like, my... I mean, I don't mean that disparagingly, but, like, I lived in a city called Richmond. I grew up in a city called Richmond, and they were a highly Asian... like, densely Asian population, so Japanese shit. I took Japanese class in high school, so, like, it wasn't really that uncommon for me, but for you, it would be way more niche, I would say, in Middle America.
Yes and no, in certain circles. That's why I say, in overall, yeah, it's super niche. I was one of the weird kids that had Japanese music on his iPod. Remember iPods?
I mean, yeah. That's why whenever anyone's like, globalization, blah blah. But I'm always like, but guys, we live in a globalized world. Like we know what
globalization is great, man.
I know.
Globalization.
I completely agree.
Boba tea, which I don't even like, but boba tea is everywhere, and that's globalization. There's a ramen restaurant. Like we're not in blocks where I live, but I mean it's equivalent to like maybe a city block away.
I won't say I don't like talking about people's kids on the internet, so I'll do this in as vague a manner as possible. But I know someone whose child has a South Korean name, and I love this movie because it stealth teaches the kids Korean, and that's so dope. Whereas like they think it's all magic incantations and whatnot, but like there's soft learning Korean, and like that makes them more well-rounded as people. Like that's how you want to know how you stop prejudice. Teach them Korean. That is obviously a simplification, but that's why I love this movie.
You are not wrong. I'm actually looking up because I'm going to touch on something when we get to your idol, so I have to look something up real quick.
I love the side. The Saja boys are hilarious. I was real glad I rewatched this morning. I appreciated it so much more the second time around.
Okay, I was totally right. Okay, so we're gonna have so much fun when we get to your idol, like because it's so surprising what that song actually is and does that. Like, oh my god, I'm gonna geek it. So finishing up with my origin story here. So yeah, Soda Pop, and then of course it's on my playlist, but then I watch it on YouTube, and then it kicks over to Your Idol as the next song. And I'm just like, holy shit. First of all, waiting for the metal version. But
I mean, it's out there. I could send you some that are pretty solid.
I'm sure it's out there. But like, I mean, I'd honestly love to hear Falling in Reverse's version. Because I think Ronnie Radke could destroy that song in the best way possible. But
there's so many songs in this that we'll get to, but like I've grown to love over time, especially Jin. A lot of Jin Yu songs. I'm like, ooh, I can't wait for the sequel where we find out he didn't actually die.
Yeah, I mean, not spoiler alert, but Jinu's the best character in this movie by far in so many ways. He's the most interesting. Jinu was probably done the best, and I actually, if what I read is correct, Jinu had his own team of animators just for his face.
That's amazing.
It makes sense. But if you notice, I think Jinu might actually have the most varying facial animation of any character in this movie, because you also have to include his demon form.
True. Some of the girls, they're
they're the main characters, right? Yeah. But Jinu, just trust me, I'm going to gush on Jinu, right? But so then it kicks over to Your Idol, and I'm like, okay, I know vaguely what's happening in this movie, but after this song, I gotta watch this. So I came home and told the wife, and it's like, hey, and it sucked, dude, because we started watching it before we went on vacation, and I was thinking, yeah, I can just plug my laptop, because they don't have streaming in the cabins we were in, but they do have internet, so I'm like, cool, I can just bring along an HDMI cable, and we can use the laptop to watch it. Turns out, my nephew, fuck you, broke the HDMI port on my computer, and I didn't know it was broken. So we had to wait a week to finish the movie.
It's funny. Me and Jordan were speculating. We're like, I wonder what made him watch K-pop Demon Hunters. And Jordan went, it's probably the wife.
No, she had no knowledge of it whatsoever.
That's so funny.
I had to convince her, because her first reaction was kind of like, really? And I'm like, no, trust me.
I'm weird, so for me, it's like certain vocal things just tweak me. So like, I don't know if that's like my slightly on the spectrum brain, but like I love the bit.
You saying you got in touch with the tism?
Sometimes it feels like it. But
I feel that.
There's the bit in I can't remember the name of the song, but the duet they do. Jinyu's verse in that song, with the way it builds, it just like tickles something in my brain for some reason, where it goes free, yeah, where the way the way it builds on itself. Oh, just so the fact that the people who wrote the music and the people who sang are getting just as much, if not more, attention than the voice actor.
They deserve it, because the music, and rightfully so, it's K-pop Demon Hunters. The music does so much heavy lifting in this movie, and this is why I love to nerd out on this stuff, because it's doing things that you don't understand what's happening, but your subconscious brain does. And that's why music affects you. And that's why music nerds are some of the most insightful people, because they're like, there's a YouTube channel called Sideways, and this dude it's fascinating to watch, because he'll be like, oh, have you ever wondered why the music in Shrek makes you feel this way? And then he goes through and explains it.
Oh,
and then he does it for so many things. But yeah, so, and then there were a few vocal coach reactions that I watched for a couple of these songs, and they're all nerding out on how clever the music is created.
Watching, there's so I was just gonna say the girl who wrote it, who plays the lead. Watching her, I've seen a bunch of videos of her breaking down the process of, one of the ones I saw her do was breaking down the process of Your Idol, and hearing her demo where it just starts off as just the like, it just starts off with just the sound of it, and then she builds the lyrics later. It's so fascinating.
Well, okay, so here's your first music nerd out moment. So, the song Golden is in a major key. And
yeah, that makes sense.
And guess what key Your Idol is in?
Obviously a minor key.
Not just a minor key, the exact inverse of Golden.
That makes so much sense. That does make a ton of sense.
It makes narrative sense, but it also, because the human brain is wonderful in so many ways and stupid in others. So it picks up on things that you don't consciously think of. The reason your brain feels opposite when you're listening to Your Idol is because it's in the completely opposite key.
That's so interesting. I didn't know that. That's very interesting.
So, tell me why I never knew Kim Jong was in K-pop Demon Hunters until the Macy's Thanksgiving. I didn't know Kim Jong, although that's not terribly surprising, because this is an American production.
He's Bobby.
Oh, is he Bobby? Oh, yeah,
He's Bobby.
I hear it. Now I hear it.
That's why they went, oh, Bobby, and
I gotta call out one YouTube short though that said, if you watch K-pop Demon Hunters, you'll notice that Jinwoo never shows Rumi his demon eyes, and that is true except for one moment. There's one moment in the movie where,
huh?
Yeah, there's one, and I was watching because I'm like, oh, if that's accurate, that'd be really cool, because Jinwoo. Okay, here's where the spoilers come. So Jinwoo is not upfront about his past until very late in the movie, which makes his arc so much more interesting. But he also never fully shows his demon side to Rumi, or so they say. And there's a moment where he admits what he did. He turns, and at the very last second before they meet eye contact, his eyes revert back to his human eyes.
Ah, interesting. Look, man, if I were to be critical of this movie, which I have very few, but my one criticism would be I do feel like the other Saja boys do kind of fall a little like, I kind of wish they attach the different girls to other Saja boys, and they don't have near the same personality or backstory or tragedy or anything that makes them interesting.
Well, I think they might dig a little bit deeper, because one question, and this isn't a criticism, it's a question because maybe I missed something. It seems to me that when the demon hunters kill a demon, they don't actually kill it; they just send it back.
I couldn't tell. It was unclear.
The reason I say that is because, okay, so the demon that was the stewardess, right? I'm pretty sure we saw the girls kill her.
Yeah.
But then in the next scene, she's getting, chastised by Gima.
Oh yeah. That's a valid point. That is a valid point. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. So you're right.
If that's correct,
they took out that entire plane, left it to explode, and then land in the concert. You're right. Yeah.
Right.
Solid point.
If that's true, at least the hunters' weapons don't actually kill the demons; they just send them back. Now Jinwoo is presumably dead because he's killed by Gima. Spoiler alert. But
yeah.
But yeah, and oh god, I can't wait to go deep on Jinwoo. However, so that kind of goes hand in hand with my only criticism, which again, I understand why they did this, because I am not this movie's target demographic. Preteen to early teenage girls are the primary demographic, although there's something in this movie for everybody. This movie's fast.
A little bit.
Like,
To me, it really wants to. I have that. It's Girl Spider-Verse. That's what this really.
Basically, yeah.
It has the same pacing, the same energy, the same attitude. But you're right. To be fair, I went into this the first time with that thought, being like, look, man. I'm not the target demographic. This isn't for me. This is for the girls, and as long as the girls are having a good time, that's all that matters.
Precisely.
But yeah, there's a lot of there are moments in this that make me go, oh yeah, this is very Gen Z. That would be my very ADD film language. So I get what you're saying.
Very much so. Like this might be the most TikTok movie I've ever seen.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, it exists to be chopped up. But like when I went into it, because Netflix has this really, I mean, they make really crappy animated or sometimes all right animated movies, but they have this tendency to like take movies from other countries and slap a vocal track on them, an English vocal track, and that's what I assumed this was going to be. I thought this was like some sort of Korean movie that was going to have a bad dub track on it, but it's Canadian. It's made by a Canadian.
And again, I say it's a criticism just because I would have liked to have a little bit more breathing room with the Jinu and Rumi relationship, and because I mean, particularly at the end, once again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it yet and you want to not have it ruined for you, close the video now.
Or mute it for a little bit and then
mute it for. Tell you what, when I'm done giving away spoilers, I'll go like this. Okay.
Yeah, and you can leave it up, and then Jake still gets the watch time, but you don't have to hear the spoiler.
Thank you.
Always
starting now. Okay, so at the end of the movie, after Rumi's patterns are revealed to the world, like, you get a short scene of her confronting her adopted mother figure, and then it goes straight into the finale. Like, there's no...
Yeah, right. Like
it's immediate. Like, there's no breathing room.
The other demon hunters, I apologize. I'm not going to bother with the names because I'm bad at them. But the other two girls barely have time to react to the fact that they just publicly their band just publicly broke up, and they were framed for it, and before they're turning around and walking into the climax. So I definitely get what you mean. Like, it would have been, but also like I'm the guy who's like, an hour and 45 minutes, hour 40 minutes is the perfect length for a kids movie. So like,
and that's why. Okay, we're back. And that's exactly why I say criticism like with a massive grain of salt, because it's like it's a me thing.
Yeah.
If they came out with a director's cut of this movie that was longer, I'd probably like it better, but I understand the kids wouldn't, and I totally get it. It's fine. And plus, it just means we get to your idol faster. And
it's also true.
So right now, but if you, like me, like your story's a little bit more woven and plot's a little bit more, how should we say this, like less at a breakneck speed, you would probably very much enjoy Revival, and here is a quick look to tell you just a smidge about what it's about.
The veil between her world and the other realm has faded, unleashing magic into the lives of ordinary citizens. Awakening from a 4-year coma, Tori James discovers a world transform. For some, like Tori, the unveiling ignites hidden abilities. With her expertise in classical languages, she's drawn into a world of thieves and magic. Join Tori on her magical journey in Book 1 of the Unveiled book series, Revival. Unveil your destiny.
Can there be 50 collector's editions made and so?
Like they had a franchise that went for 50 years and they're just talking about ending it. Did we possibly cut everything we can out of this? Yeah.
They absolutely can. Yeah, people don't realize how much bigger physical media is over there, or at least that's what I've been told.
Yeah, yeah. But no, if this movie came out in 2005, there would have been a DVD, and the scene you're talking about would have been a deleted scene on the DVD.
It absolutely would have, even if they had to create it just to be a deleted scene.
Yeah, it would have been the selling point. Be like 30 to 5 to 10 minutes of extra content woven in.
Which also, another thing I loved about this movie, now that I'm thinking about it, is because you and I both, I think, we both really like 2D animation.
Big fan.
This was one of the more 2D feeling computer animated features I've ever seen.
Sony Animation nails that. This isn't the first movie to kind of share this art style with those Spider-Verse movies. There's one that's coming out later in the year called Goat. I mean,
I saw a trailer for it.
Yeah, and it's, you know what? It looks pretty. Like, these movies look pretty.
It looks solid.
I love these. Like, for me as an animation lover, I love it when animation takes chances and looks beautiful. Like, I love that Puss in Boots movie because I think it's beautiful.
Dude, I still haven't watched it, and I want to. I want to so bad. It looks so good.
Really good.
Another movie, and this is going to shock a few people. And funnily enough, I wanted to watch it before Mr. Bancroft was on Haley's podcast. Shout out to Haley, Party of Broadway World. Tony Bancroft, who was a former Disney animator and co-director of Mulan, the good one, not the shitty live-action remake.
Not the bad one?
Yeah. He made another movie called Light of the World, and he did it. So it's the story of the Gospels, but as if it were a 90s animated Disney movie. And I know that sounds goofy. But goofy. I saw a trailer for it, and I'm like, this movie reminds me of Aladdin, which makes a lot of sense. In a good way, even the dialogue, I'm like, and then I found out he was behind it. I'm like, oh god, now I have to watch it. I haven't yet because I didn't know it was his until it was out of theaters.
I'm surprised. I'm just surprised that more people haven't tried to do. Hey man, you can do Bible stories and make it a-religious. I think like the Prince of Egypt was fairly a-religious.
I don't know that I would call the Prince of Egypt a-religious, but I mean, honestly, it's not Christian. It's more Jewish, which makes sense when you look at the people behind. That is
fair.
Fair, that's what kind of makes me laugh when. Not to say that you can't be a Christian and love the Prince of Egypt, but when a lot of Christians are like, "Oh, I love the Prince of Egypt. I just love it," I'm like,
really?
Yeah, that's basically the Jews, right?
Yeah, they did that. They technically wrote part one to your they're the prequel to your sequel, as it were.
As Lewis Black said, it's like it was fine, and then Christians came along and decided they needed a sequel.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the Prince of Egypt is one of my favorite movies. I love the Prince of Egypt. It's beautifully animated. The music, much like this one, it's beautifully animated. The music kicks ass. Like.
I saw a trailer for a David and Goliath movie that I was like, what? This looks all right. Or there's apparently an animated Jesus movie that is allegedly quite good.
Yeah, so I was getting that one confused with Light of the World. I don't love the art style because I think it was the same studio that's doing the David movie, or at least they look very similar. It looks very, how do I say this? It looks really, really Disney Junior to me.
I mean, fair. The problem with this is a wild aside, but the problem with religious movies is a particular brand of that religion is never going to let a truly interesting Jesus movie happen. It's always going to be, and this is me being offensive. I mean, this is at least offensive, but it's always going to be the magic wizard man Jesus. Like, I kind of want the real person Jesus movie. I keep seeing clips from this, what I think is a show that I assumed was AI. They looked like it was AI, and then I think I
know the show you're talking about.
At my local grocery store, was on the back of a magazine, and I was like, "Holy shit, that's not a fake show."
Well, Justin, they did make that movie. It's called The Passion of the Christ.
I've yet to watch that movie. It's on my list.
It's interesting. Okay, so I'm gonna. I like Mel Gibson as a filmmaker. As a person, I like him as an actor and a filmmaker. He took a really big chance with The Passion, and
that we'll give him.
And everybody in Hollywood, because the movie is not in English for those who don't know. The whole thing's in Aramaic and Latin and some Hebrew.
Absolutely in Aramaic, yeah.
Yeah, there's some Hebrew in there, and there's Latin, but it's mostly in Aramaic. Because, and then he would go on to do this with Apocalypto, which I liked it, then I hated it, and now I like it again. But it's a ride. He wanted to do Braveheart in Gaelic, actually.
Really? That honestly
but
doesn't surprise me. He directed.
No.
Wait, he directed Braveheart?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know he directed it. I knew he was in it. I didn't know he directed it.
Yeah, he directed Braveheart. Yeah, he directed and starred in Braveheart. Randall Wallace wrote the script, and he wanted to do it in Gaelic and Old English, but they were like, nah, bro.
I'm probably going to watch it when I inevitably go onto Haley's podcast and say all my controversial opinions about Jesus Christ Superstar.
I mean, Jesus Christ Superstar is a controversial piece of art.
I know, but I have a bunch of controversial opinions about it. That I'm pretty sure that's the podcast that's going to get me canceled.
I don't know. I mean, I think if people line up, I think if the Christian community lines up to defend Jesus Christ Superstar, I think
they do it in churches. It blows my mind because that is such a pro-Judas show. This is not a podcast about Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yeah. So let's get back. But we're just saying there's a common thread with these types of movies that we like. But speaking of Christianity, let me tell you, because I will tie this back into K-pop Demon Hunters.
Let's talk about Korean religion for a second.
Okay. So I watched a video on YouTube that honestly, I went into it thinking like, oh, this guy's going to sound like an idiot. And at the end, I was somewhat convinced. He made the argument that K-pop Demon Hunters is ultimately a Christian film. Now, it's not,
Really?
it's not a Jesus movie, but it's a Christian ethics film. And I gotta say, by the end of it, I'm kind of like, I get what he's saying. It might be a bit of a stretch, because I think the story is intended to be a little bit looser than being like, yeah, this is about Christian ethics. However, let's consider a couple of elements in this movie. The song Your Idol, which ends up being the ultimate sort of representation of...
I saw a person, I wish I could remember her name, but it was on TikTok where she said the same thing. She said, I've been to enough church services that were just like that to be like, yeah, that's a revival church song. And
no,
and
it's
I
not.
was like,
It's not a. Well, I guess it. I mean, not really, but okay. So let's dig into some of the similar. So Gima's number one tool that he has at his disposal is shame, and that's what this whole movie is about. Shame. And the right way and the wrong way to go about it, because all the major characters have some form of shame, and the key and the ultimate, I guess, lesson or moral, and what the last song is about, and does really, because the line, it's like, what is the line in the song? Something, I can't go back, but now I'm seeing all the beauty in the broken glass.
in the broken glass. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know the line you're talking about.
Yeah.
Inside the broken glass. Yeah. I know exactly what
so
you're talking about.
the ultimate ethic of the movie, or let's say not ethic, because there's a lot of ethical things in this movie, which I'm a philosophical ethics nerd. There's actually a blog post coming that you can see on urtemedia.org. I've been working on for a while, and yeah. But so I nerd out on this stuff because a lot of people, when they get into philosophy, they're like, "Oh, I'm all about epistemology. I care about truth," and I'm like, "Nah, I don't really give a shit about that. I care about whether shit's right or wrong." You know, it's an often overlooked side of philosophy because everybody's like, "Why?" And I'm like, "Well, maybe because this." But anyway, so let's just look at Your Idol. So the hats and the outfits that the Saja boys are wearing are essentially, from what I understand, and if I get this wrong, I apologize, I am not Korean, but I've seen a lot of Korean creators or people that have studied like East Asian culture professionally, not on the internet, talk about how that outfit is essentially like, it's not Korean Grim Reaper, but it's kind of the closest sort of reference point. And you'll notice it's not just in that final performance. Jinu is wearing this outfit when we first meet him. In the opening intro, when they're talking about the hunters, there are demons that are wearing this garb. You know, so this is a cultural thing. Which, holy shit, they're going to sell the shit out of those.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
It's going to happen, so yay capitalism. But that song opens with a Latin prayer.
Really?
Yep,
Does it actually?
Right before he goes, "I'll be your idol." You know, it's that The song you see.
Yeah.
There's a lot of moments where the Soulja Boy. Now it's not supposed to be crucifixion, but it's very much making a cross. And then there's a line in that song where it's like, "I'm the only one who love your sin."
Yeah.
And preaching to the choir, which there's so many. Preaching to the choir is what, for those who don't know, what that expression means is you shouldn't preach to the choir. You should preach to the congregation because the choir is already in your camp.
That explains the saying you're preaching to the choir.
Yeah, but is it because I'm preaching to the choir? What he's saying in that song is, I've already got you, and now I'm taking everything else.
Yeah.
Which is true. In the context of what's happening in the movie, dude, that song is so good. I'm getting chills thinking about it. There's so many nerdy shit, and I'm gonna finish the point about it being a Christian movie, and then I'm gonna go nerd out on the Soulja Boys a bit. So basically, Gima's number one. Sorry, I have a touch of autism too, and I'm going all over the place. But you watch this podcast, you know what we're about.
You know what this is. You know what we're about.
You know what we're about. And feel free to tell me I'm an idiot in the comments. You guys do it anyway, so fuck it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
So Gima's number one weapon is shame. He uses it with Genu. He indirectly uses it with Rumi, because Rumi's whole arc is about overcoming shame of what she is, which I've always found very curious. I've never really understood why people feel shame for what they are, because you have zero control over it. I totally get Genu because he's ashamed of what he's done.
Yeah.
But shame about what you are has always been really perplexing to me, because it's like, you didn't do anything to, like...
Well, I mean, there's a lot of real-life examples of people being shamed for what they are.
No, I know it exists. I'm just saying I've never really understood that, because I've always looked at it and been like, well...
I had a point where I stopped feeling it, but I did at a point.
Do you want to go into that? You want to have a little therapy
session?
I
mean, no, it's just like... You hit a point in your life where you don't care about what anybody thinks about you. You're in your mid-20s, your early 30s, where you're like, look, man, not everyone's going to love you or even like you. And you can't go through your through life constantly being concerned about that. But it does occasionally inform things. But
sure,
yeah.
Well, just like, okay, so Rumi's half demon, spoiler alert. She had no say or control in that whatsoever. So the fact that I guess I can see why she would feel some form of shame because she's a demon hunter, but I feel like that should have come up a lot earlier. And I know that what's their like grandmother character's name? I can't. Celine.
Celine. Yeah. Well, to be fair, and I didn't pick up on this the first time I watched this. She is technically part of, I think if I got this correctly, someone's going to yell at me if I get this wrong. She's part of the last group.
Correct, yeah. She was in it with Rumi's mother.
Yeah.
And Rumi's mother died after giving birth to a half-demon spawn baby.
Yeah, but it just... I mean, to be fair, I think it's supposed to be an allegory and a metaphor for repression and repressing.
Sure, absolutely. And okay, so this is kind of why I say Christian movie in quotes, because... this movie is doing what J.R.R. Tolkien does with The One Ring, and he's not saying this is this. This can be anything at any time. And I love it when movies do that, because that's what makes them, I'm not going to say timeless, but that's what makes them live beyond their immediate time.
Yeah.
Because, like, 90s X-Men is very much not queer-coded in the sense, but, like, X-Men is always about discrimination in some form. The originals, it was about, the civil rights movement, and then it sort of leaned into, in the 90s, it leaned into the gay rights movement. And I wouldn't say in the 90s it was still more of a rate. The person who more actively made it an LGBTQ thing was ironic. I think it was Bryan Singer, which feels ironic. Okay, so maybe I'm reading it wrong, but like X-Men really leans into discrimination. However, at least this is what I felt in the 90s, particularly with the animated series. It felt more about like people who weren't obviously mutants, because there were some obvious examples, like Beast couldn't hide, for example.
Perhaps, I don't know, I guess maybe my brain wasn't just tuned to it in the 90s, but for me it's like in X2 it's Bobby's parents being like, have you ever Iceman,
Have
yeah.
you tried
Have
not
you-
being a mutant?
Being
Yeah.
a mutant? Yeah. And I was like, okay, this is obviously about gay people now. So, and I would say X-Men
Fair.
97 is maybe about gay people.
Oh yeah, so much more. So much. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
shout out to X-Men '97. Holy shit.
Yeah, but I would have said that Rumi repressing her but I don't know. See, I don't know if it's a gay thing.
It's not exclusively a gay thing. It's anything that you can feel, because there's also a physical manifestation, which is why it's so brilliant. So it could be something where, like, if you have vitiligo, for example.
Yeah.
If you want to get super literal, that's another thing. This doesn't mean to sound dismissive or insensitive, but that's another thing. I've never understood why people are ashamed of it, because it's like, you literally cannot help it. It is a condition of your skin. Like, you had nothing to do with it. I don't understand why you would. But then again, there were also assholes that would walk up to this person and make fun of them to their face, and that is probably why they feel ashamed of it. And I don't understand why you would be such a massive dick, but
quite often. Probably Michael Jackson. It blew my mind when I found out. It was like, oh yeah, that's why he wore the gloves. So, but I don't know. I don't get self-conscious about the way I look anymore, so I don't get it either.
I know I look like this. I've looked like this my whole life. Ain't changing.
I'm not other than the occasional moments I walk by a pane of glass, I don't have to look at me. So I tend not to care about what I look like, which is probably to my own detriment.
Only when there's a bit to be done.
Yeah, true. Hey, look, I will go all in for the bit. Let me tell you.
Absolutely. The only reason I'm not wearing Korean garb is A, couldn't get any in time, and B, feel like that might not be such a great thing to do.
What? You don't want to appropriate some culture like the Greek?
But I do.
Romans.
Oh, they appropriated all of it. Yeah. So going back to my idol, your idol. Yeah, it's just such a good song, and so I picked up what the person was putting down, but I feel like it was a little bit too rigid to say, "Hey, this is a Christian movie."
I can see why you would say it, though.
I think there's some element to that, because I didn't know this, and this is what prompted it. I didn't know Christianity was the #1 religion in Korea.
Really?
It is.
I did not know that.
I knew that Christianity was big in Korea, but I did not know it's the dominant religion by far. However, as is the case with many cultures where Christianity was introduced, they keep
so perplexing.
They also keep a lot of elements of their older culture in daily life, which is awesome. Because not so much at the time. They really frowned upon that before, and that's why you still have Native American tribes in the U.S. and I assume Canada as well that are thankfully kind of getting back a hold of their identity. Or at least they're trying to, but unfortunately some of it is too far gone. There are languages that we will never resurrect because they were never written down. And practice, it really sucks, but it is the world that we live in. We didn't do anything individually. Yeah.
Unfortunately, people in the past are dicks, and unfortunately, we can't do anything about that.
Well, we've had a similar conversation before, and I will just bring not to be dismissive, but another granule to think about. There's also a reason why Old English isn't spoken anymore.
True. Yeah. I mean, look, man, the world evolves. Languages evolve and change and die, and it's just
colonization happens, and there are countless Gaelic and Germanic dialects that we will never know existed because they were never written down. They were not preserved.
Because swords are sharp, and people don't run fast enough.
Swords are sharp, and Roman formations were really, really good until they
were so effective until someone invented gunpowder, or they discovered gunpowder.
No, it was more like guns. It was more like cavalry maneuverability that really fucked them up. That'll do it. Yeah. God damn it! What do they call the? I don't remember the Latin name, but the turtle formation. That's like, the problem with that is you can't see out the front, and then by the time something hits you in the side, it's too late. So.
There's a reason why we don't... Wait, Romans. What did Romans... There's a reason why we don't all speak Latin still. They spoke Latin, right?
Yeah,
what did Romans speak? Latin, right?
Latins. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, to a point, we do.
True. That is true. That is true. It is a root language. That is fair.
For many languages, English not being one of them, but we do have a lot of Latin words. But anyway, back to K-pop Demon Hunters. Korean does not have any Latin influence.
It does not.
I can say that, which is another thing that I really loved is the fact that it's like you said, they sneak in Korean in almost every song.
Yeah, it's so rad. I'm like, oh, that's rad. I noticed it so much more because I watched a video breaking down. I watched a couple of videos breaking down all the stealth Korean they sneak in and what it all means and stuff. So I noticed it so much more this time, and I was like, it's fun. It's fun.
Yeah,
it's cool.
So I gotta ask you two questions, and I'm gonna answer myself. First of all, who's your favorite Soulja Boy?
Oh, okay. Not a Genius side because he's obviously my favorite.
See, that's my Genius, my favorite character. But in terms of like in the boy band, I'm so bad with the names, but the one who's all abs, the joke about his abs is Abby. Abby is my favorite because he's a reminder that girls are just as thirsty as boys. Like I've worked with enough girls. Like I used to work with these two girls who I worked at a gas station years and years ago, and they would stand by the window to the gas station and just ogle guys. And that was the moment that I was like, man, they're just as gross as men. Like they're just as what's the word I'm looking for? Thirsty.
They thirsty, but what's the word I'm looking for? Dehumanize. No, completely gone.
Objectify.
They're just as objectifying as men are, and I think that's funny.
Oh, dude, hot take. I think it's worse.
I will say that one of the funnier moments was when I realized it didn't matter what the attraction was, men are still men. I used to work with this gay guy, and we were talking about this new guy that they hired, and he just peeked his head around the corner and went, "Is he hot?" And we all went, "I don't know." And he was like, "Don't care." And just moved along with the conversation. I was like, men are men. It doesn't matter who they're attracted to.
This is true. But yes, and that's okay. So
that joke is funny.
Yeah, and then I'll go into what I was kind of gonna go into about how this movie defeats a stereotype in so many ways. Not that one. That one's solid. Because even Rumi is initially like, oh, you guys are gross. And then Ginu... And I love how they subvert the K-drama cliche in that moment. Yeah. When she's doing the fall. And then when they do the slow motion, then you just love it.
I mean, the Sergeant Boys they're just... Like, they are... When I think of K-pop, like, that's what I think of, right? Is that kind of group. And they're just such a valid parody of that kind of group. Like, they're BTS. Like, they're just...
Yeah, no, they are. Yeah, they absolutely are. And they do it perfectly without disrespecting it.
Absolutely. It helps that the music is... Like, the songs, as much as they're a parody of that... Like, soda pop, like you say, as much of it as it's a parody of that kind of music, it's also really catchy.
Well, I love the bit where Zoe's at first like really into it, and then she's like,
yeah.
It is ridiculously catchy. And then later they're like, control those shoulders, because you can't. It's like you can't help it. You're in the car, and you're like, my little soda pop.
It's so true.
But so I have to shout out Baby Saja.
Oh, he's also good. He's funny.
Dude,
he is funny.
The raps, particularly in Your Idol, but.
Yeah, I've seen a couple videos of him doing it live, and it's impressive every time. Like, it is really like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
He's really good.
It's so good. I just love the rap in Your Idol because it's such a tonal shift, but it's seamlessly done, and it's just a nice highlight in the song, and then they go right into the chorus again, and it's dude.
That's where I'm like, you're right. I do wish some of the Soulja Boys, like I not that they all needed a tragic backstory, but like. It is weird that, like, the Jinyu connects with Rumi, and then it seems like one of them's going to, like, maybe connect with Abs, and one of them's going to maybe connect with Baby, and it seems like they're going to have their own connection to it. But then at the end, like, spoilers, they just kind of end the Soulja Boys without any sort of, like emotional... Like, when again, spoilers. There's no, like, reacting to the fact that now the Soulja Boys are theoretically just gone, and they were such a major part of this world that they're just now gone now. Also, K-pop fans are apparently really fickle. That's the other thing I learned from this movie.
Well, and they kind of joke at that too when they keep going back and forth on whose single is number one.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of really subtle tongue-in-cheek humor in this movie, but it's, again, at no point would I say it's disrespectful, but it's very much poking fun at the K-pop industry, which is, I appreciate that because it's kind of silly. Also, I now, thanks to this movie, I know what happened to the boy band O-Town. They were demons.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
They came full force. They had one hit wonder. They were on the radio nonstop, and then they disappeared. I don't know where any of them went. I assume they just went straight back to hell.
I went straight back to hell with them. I do recognize the name. I cannot. I feel like I might know that the one song.
Oh, it's the song
sang.
that's like, 'cause I want it all, or nothing at all.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, I do know them.
Which is so. Here's an interesting aside. I was actually going to bring this up with Eric on a different episode, but I'm going to bring it up now. And it's only because my wife made me actually start thinking about song lyrics as I was listening to them. Yeah, boy band songs are usually very problematic if you actually pay attention to the lyrics.
Oh, for sure. Lyrics are really weird when you. I mean, again, not every artist writes their own lyrics, but somebody did, and that came from a place from somebody. Like, there's certain bands where, like, okay, are you familiar with the Bare Naked Ladies?
Oh, yes, I am.
Ladies? If you listen to their lyrics, one of them cheated on his wife or hit his wife a whole bunch. Because there's a bunch of their songs that just reference clearly reference an affair that he definitely had at one point. And I'm like, wow, I've never really listened to these lyrics before. So I know what you mean.
Well, and then like the group Boys to Men, who I actually got mixed up with All for One. So I put this song on for my wife with Spanish subtitles, and like everybody in the '90s, at least in the U.S., knows the song "To the End of the Road," right? It's like, oh, it's iconic. To the end of the road. There's like a minute-long speaking part of that song where some dude's just rhythmically talking about being like, "Listen, girl, I know you cheated. I know you see other guys, but I love you, and it's okay." And I'm just like, actually, it's
okay.
Actually, it's not. It's kind of like, and then like the Backstreet Boys, they're iconic. I forget what. All I have to give. Their song's all about some dude being like, "You could totally break up with your boyfriend and fuck me instead."
I mean, they have an entire song devoted to him being out with another girl while trying to get home. So, like, a lot of these boy bands have multiple songs about cheating on their girlfriends.
There's that too, or at least being like, "Hey, you should totally be a shitty person,"
right?
You know,
yeah.
But just all I have to give is such an interesting song we listen to because it's literally dude being like, "Listen, girl, I know I ain't got shit. I'm broke as fuck. Like, I have nothing to offer you other than the fact that I'm obsessed with you, and this is totally gonna work."
In a lot of cases, like, and this is the '90s, and this behavior was okay back then.
But it was just under a catchy tune.
I mean, my favorite love song of all time is the song that's just a stalker anthem. And then the Sting came out and was like, "No, yeah, this was about me stalking my ex-girlfriend, and everyone thought it was romantic for 20 years." Lyrics are weird, man.
Yeah, lyrics are weird, but the times do a change too. Like now we're gonna have like a bunch of Korean music flooding even more. Because holy crap, I didn't think it was gonna get bigger than BTS. Hold my beer, says K-pop Demon Hunters.
Every single person's Spotify Wrapped this year was. I was just like, when I was watching it this morning, I'm like, get ready to hear them perform Golden at the Oscars because there's no way that's not the one that gets nominated for Best Song. It's definitely gonna win Best Animated Picture. Just prepare for that.
Yeah, it better at least, because again, that's on the surface. This is a very simple movie, but there's so much happening, and like we haven't even gotten into Huntrix, and we're gonna get there. Which actually we'll just lead with who's your favorite member of Huntrix, which is kind of an unfair question.
Man, I really like. I'm so bad with the names. The redhead. I really like the redhead. Mira, because she reminds me of. Are you a Brooklyn Nine-Nine fan at all?
I am not. I hate Andy Samberg with a passion.
Okay. Stephanie
that's
Beatrice.
I think I know who did Rosie. Didn't she play Rosie?
Rosa,
Not Rosie.
Rosa. That character reminds me of Rosa from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, yeah.
That dry, like, sense of humor. I really like her. I think she's really funny. I thought it was Stephanie Beatrice the whole movie, and I looked up and no, it's a completely different voice actress. But also Zoe, the fact that she's the rapper is just so funny because it's just so like,
Really?
I don't know. Yeah, like really, you're the rapper. You would have figured that the one who's a bit more street edged would be the one who was. And I like that subversion. I think that's fun. It's hard not to say Rumi.
Somebody did say it's like, can we get like a rap collab with Zoe and Baby Saja? And I'm like, yes, please.
Yes, please.
Yes, can we please do that?
I'm excited for the inevitable sequel where the Saja boys all come back and they're good guys now.
I want it so bad, dude. I want it so bad.
I really want like a big like I say, my favorite songs in movies like this are the big "we did it." Everybody celebrates. It does the thing where it lets you sit with the music. Like my favorite moment, and this is what it sounds like, is the end where it like just lets you sit with the song for a minute. I'm like, oh, so good. But yeah, I that's my one thing is I wanted more collab between them in terms of musically beyond just the one song.
Yeah,
that's what I want out of the sequel.
But I gotta say, in a time we're slightly out of this period where everybody's like, "Well, yeah, but characters suck," and a lot of them do because they're poorly written and they're one-dimensional. Yeah. Not this movie.
No, that's the thing. Is like, hey, man, the girls deserve characters who are badasses, and like,
well, not just badasses. They're nuanced. They're different. They have arcs. They all improve in some way, shape, or form. They all change. They all
pass the Bechdel test.
Actually, yes, that's very true. They do. In fact, the Bechdel test isn't even a question until the Saja boys are introduced.
Yeah, and even then, I mean, it plays romantic, but it doesn't necessarily. Do they do a big kiss? I don't think they do a big kiss.
And I gotta give a shout out because there's obvious romantic tension between Rumi and Genu, but it's more. At least it starts out. It's less about attraction, although I guess it does. It starts out with attraction, but the relationship is not about that until like. Don't think it's ever expressly said that there's attraction between them, even though there is.
Because I'm always like, girl, he too old for you.
Demons age differently. But yeah,
he's 400 years old, girl.
Sorry. Technically, he stopped aging at whatever age he was.
But I also do kind of wish you're right, like. They do say what he did, but like I would have liked to know what happened to his family.
Well, I mean,
it's just implied that they died.
Yeah, because they were left worse off than they were before. Although somebody did make a comment. It's like, motherfucker, you said you couldn't sing or play the beeper for shit. Why were you doing that on the street?
Right?
Yeah, it's kind of like there were other things you could do, like can you lift heavy shit?
I'm just saying, you know. Yeah. I'm just saying, you could have lifted a box or two. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's like you can make yourself useful in other ways. Can you carry rice? That's a thing they need. That's a thing they always need.
Right? Could you plow some fields? I mean, you're a handsome boy. I'm sure.
He could absolutely plow some fields.
I'm just saying, you could whore yourself out to 50. I can't do it. I can't.
Doing the Quagmire joke.
I started to set up for it. I'm like, no, I can't. I have too many female friends now.
You absolutely could have, Genu, and you would have gotten paid. Probably would have contracted several venereal diseases. It is,
true.
1500s Korea. No, let's see, 400 years that would. 1600s Korea. But
Hey, I'm just saying the condom is a far more older device than you probably realize.
I don't think it's that old.
I watched a video about it once. It's like I can't remember the century.
Wait, was it?
They were using
no. I think they were using like intestinal
lambskin.
Yeah, lambskin.
Yeah, lambskin for like the longest time. It predates the latex ones by like. I don't want to say hundreds of years because that feels too long, but it's longer than you're thinking. Like it would surprise you how.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I absolutely can see that. But anyway, enough talk about prophylactics. No, but you know another thing that I really liked about this movie, and it's real subtle because it is kind of in a quasi-anime art style, but the characters actually all look Asian, which I actually...
Yeah, they absolutely do, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is very much the centerpiece. I think most of the movie, they are in Korea.
Yes.
Even though they've just come back from a world tour. It would be kind of neat, in the next one to see how they do in America. As like kind of maybe like a meta statement.
That would be interesting.
On what...
Well, and so here's a gateway. I know they said it engulfs the whole world, but like presumably, let's say the Han Moon only covers Korea or Asia. Let's give it to them and say it's Asia, right?
Yeah.
And now they're like, oh, we have to go to America. Or actually, oh god, this would be so funny. Is that Gima can open a gateway back into the human world because of corruption?
Well, okay, yeah, we've already spoiled the shit. Is he dead in the end? He's dead, right? Like,
no, I think he's just trapped.
Interesting. So here's my question for you, because me and Jordan played this game all the time on the Spur of the Moment podcast. What do you do for a sequel?
That's what I'm saying. Is Gima is able to open up a gateway through the Han Moon because of some form of corruption, and now Huntrix has to tour the U.S. in order to stop him. Yeah, and that could actually give you a gateway for the Saja boys to come back. Maybe not as protagonists, but at least they can return.
Because I'm always like, number one, the bad guys and the good guys got to team up for, I think, a rival girl band in the next one. And they're together, and now the Saja boys and Huntrix have to team up and fight a rival girl band. That would be kind of
But it can be an American girl band. That could be fun. That could be really fun. That'd be fun.
Because, I'm always like, you gotta add... What do you do to this? Because not only do you have to add story-wise, you raise the stakes, it's a sequel, so you got 3 bands now.
Well, Gima clearly joins forces with Satan.
I mean, with the Christian villain Satan. But I want like Tim Curry legend Satan, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
See, I now get that reference now, see, because I've seen that movie now.
Hey, I mean, obviously, wait, did Tim Curry die? I can't remember.
No, he's still very much alive.
Oh, okay. Hey, if you want proof that he can do it, watch Fern Gully, Texas. That's all I'm going to say.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's another movie that's like...
That man knew how to make love to a microphone, let me tell you.
Ooh. It's rather nice.
He's not bad.
Why does Tim Curry come into every paycheck roll and be like, "Nah, I'm gonna give this 1,010%"?
What about pipe organ and a third-rate straight-to-DVD Beauty and the Beast movie? I'm gonna give it my 100%. All thank you.
Him and James Woods, man. It's just like
I look. There's just certain voice actors who I'm like. They're never bad in anything. Like, the movie itself might be bad, but they themselves are not bad in it. He's definitely one of those.
They're like, oh, this is a pile of shit. I'm going to be the bucket.
I'm going to... Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm going to elevate. Him and like, Stanley Tucci. It's just like, I've never seen a movie he was bad in.
The Tooch.
The Tooch.
Yeah, but speaking of the Tooch, you guys talk about him very often in the Spur of the Moment podcast, and you can check that out Sundays, and here is a sneak peek with a sick bass line.
The sickest baseline.
So today's episode is sponsored by the Spur of the Moment podcast, everybody. Come join us every Saturday, and we're going to do this. We're going to sit here. We're going to talk about the news. Time to talk about Minecraft.
Okay.
It looks bad. So we're going to talk about movies. That new Joker movie is apparently terrible, and I want to see it so badly because I hear it's awful. We're going to make some jokes. We're going to have some laughs.
There's a lot of funny jokes in there. There's a lot of weird jokes in there. The Channing Tatum one will always make me laugh, especially when you hear the behind the scenes stuff. Like when you hear the behind the scenes story of how they just phoned them up.
We're occasionally gonna have other people along for the ride.
A really fun fact though is I learned last year that that Coraline was and not Disney.
Oh, interesting. I mean, I can see why you would make that mistake. Yeah. Because it does seem like it's a different. And to be fair,
that would be a horrifying, terrible Disney movie.
It would be because yeah. And we're just gonna have a generally good time. George, do you have anything else you want to say about our podcast? Make people watch it.
We watch movies. Sometimes we watch shows, but we always have fun.
Here
On the spur, on the spur, 3, 2, 1. On the spur of the podcast moment.
Yeah, we nailed it. Nailed it. That's
podcast.
Yeah. It's Spur of the Moment podcast every Saturday. We nailed it.
You can expect awesome content like that.
We cut flawless promos every single week.
Here's what you have to understand about Memento for me. So when I was in college, I went to film school but didn't finish. I had a professor one year who was ironically an editing professor and was obsessed with the movie Memento. Clearly, it's one of their favorite movies.
One asterisk I do have to put on that is that I also can't stand non-linear storytelling. So
I can't either. So but okay. So just conceptually with the movie Memento. Spoiler for Memento. So it's a guy. This is the most basic description of the movie Memento. The guy has amnesia. He doesn't have short-term memory. So he tattoos shit on himself to remind him. Motherfucker, write shit down.
Here's a pen and a paper, bitch. Write shit down.
This is not necessary. Not to mention, it's not like you can go into most tattoo parlors and be like, hey, can you put this paragraph on me now? Oh, no, he has his own tattoo gun, though, doesn't he? I forgot about that detail.
It's been a while. I watched it years and years. I'm going to have to find an excuse to watch it. I watched it on television. That's how long ago it was.
Yeah, but anyway, so like just conceptually, this movie does what I think a lot of overrated filmmakers do, and they're like they have this idea that they want to do, and they're like rest of the story and making sense of it all be damned. He's gonna tattoo shit on himself, but if you think about it for like 2 seconds, you're like, there's so much easier ways to do this.
Fridge or shower logic, where you're like, wait. Yeah, that's definitely one of those movies where he had the idea of half the movie's going to go forwards and then the other half's going to go backwards in mind first, and then reverse engineered the script from that. And he thought he was being really clever.
Yeah, and it's like, hot take, I don't love Quentin Tarantino movies. I think most of them are actually quite bad. Some are interesting. Like Inglourious Bastards is an interesting movie, but were it not for Christoph Waltz and Brad Pitt, the movie sucks balls.
Yeah, I got in a lot of shit back in the day. I used to be the guy who had, quote, bad takes about good movies. So that was one of them. I hated that movie for so long. The movie that made me like that movie was Django. I love Django.
See, and it's funny you should mention Django, because Django, I watched it the first time and I hated it, and then I watched it again and I understood what it was, and I'm like, oh, okay, I love Django Unchained is awesome. Too long, but awesome.
And not to turn this into a Quentin Tarantino thing, he has bad opinions. His opinion on Hunger Games was hilarious. Anyway, not the point. I thought that The Hateful Eight was generally bad. So
it's so bad. It's so bad. And I'm not sorry. Pulp Fiction fucking sucks. It's one of the most overrated movies ever made.
I'm gonna hard disagree on Pulp Fiction. That
it's
I love.
Not
I love
good, dude. It fucking sucks. The movie makes no sense whatsoever. Like, it doesn't make any fucking sense. We never find out what's in the goddamn box.
I mean, I will say it's not bereft of criticism. It's not devoid of criticism. Number one, it's weird how it's implied that it's magic. He implies it's magic at one point. He says the N-word entirely too much.
Well, that's Quentin Tarantino, but
but at least in Django, you're like, okay, no, this makes sense. It's within a context of a time where it would make sense for this character to say it, and within the context of the movie, it works. But in Pulp Fiction, it's just kind of like, you know what? Sam Jackson gave me a pass on this, so I'm just gonna do it. Why not?
There is one line that I quote from that movie all the time, and it's just because of Sam Jackson. It's another movie where I think that movie's iconic because of some of the performances, but the movie itself is dog shit. Because Sam Jackson just being like, English motherfucker, do you speak it?
I mean, my favorite line is, does Marcellus Wallace look like a bitch? Why do you keep fucking him like one? And it's like the greatest foreshadowing in ever, because he does eventually get fucked like one. Spoiler alert for Pulp Fiction. This is not Pulp Fiction. This is
K-pop Demon Hunters.
A better movie than Pulp Fiction, arguably.
Yes, a movie with no wasted motion, sometimes to its detriment, because it does. Like we said earlier, this movie wastes no time, but I understand why it does it.
But see, me and Jordan have been learning and teaching our audience about pacing and when a movie is badly paced, because that happens a lot, by the way. I got a lot of trouble for saying that no movie needs to be 3 hours long. But
I will softly disagree. Generally speaking, like 95% of the time, you're right.
But to be fair, I'm cold, so like, I've never seen a movie that I've been like, I couldn't cut 20 minutes off of this like a cold-hearted bastard. But I get it a lot of times. But like for me, the perfect length of a movie is 2 hours or less. Like anything longer than 2 hours, and my attention starts to wane. So especially with kids' movies, but also, a lot of kids' movies in the '90s weren't long enough. So
that is fair. That is fair. Like I still can't believe that Land Before Time is right at like, what is it, 63 minutes? Like it's right at an hour.
Something like that. Yeah, a lot of them are like an hour 10 at max, and you're like, I get it. Animation is expensive, and it's a lot. I don't want to say easier to animate now, but the infrastructure is there so it's a lot easier to have an hour and 40-minute animated movie. It's not as
comparatively,
expensive. Yeah. But I like a movie that's nice and lean. Personally.
Oh yeah. No, I appreciate that. It's just because I wanted more Genu, which is a perfect segue to let's now gush about Genu.
He's pretty great.
But the thing I love most about Genu as a character is how, to me, it seems like a lot of people misread his story's ending. Genu, and this is why I love the movie, Genu is not redeemed.
No, but I would also make the case that his story is like a tad anticlimactic, because it does. Yes and no. Isn't an emotional payoff to his.
Because that's real life, bro. Okay, so here I'm gonna. You did end up watching. We can fess up if we didn't watch something in our Godzilla list, but we did a really good job of hiding it. You did watch the Netflix trilogy, right?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Okay, so the ending of the last movie, the very end, was confused when I first watched it, and then I kept thinking about it because I was trying to figure it out, because I'm weird and I can't just watch a movie for enjoyment.
No,
I have to figure it out, even if I'm just watching it for my pleasure.
Yeah.
And then I got it, and man, I love the ending of that movie so much, because I'm weird. I love a good tragedy. I love a good tragic ending. It's cathartic.
I don't mind a tragic ending, but like, she doesn't really seem to react to the fact that the guy that she had a crush on 5 seconds ago is obliterated, seemingly. Like, there's no emotional payoff from her.
Fair,
but she was so devoted to 5 minutes ago.
I would chalk that up to the pacing of this movie.
That is also fair. But that's
it's
an animated musical. I don't. If it was 2 hours long, I'd probably be sitting here being like, it's too long. I just feel like it would have been.
No, but again, that's probably the second best moment of what I'm talking about, where it's like, could we take a breath to acknowledge what has just happened? Like, give her a moment to just let it sit with her for a minute that Genu is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and just
build it into the song. Build it into the song.
Just like I would have liked a minute, just a couple minutes of Rumi having to deal with the fact that her band has broken up, and like make the concert the next day, but it's like immediately this, and nobody bats an eye at like, oh, this wasn't clearly planned in advance, because you don't just put on a concert. Even if you have magical powers, there's logistics. You have to rent the space. You have to get approval. If it's an outdoor venue, weather permitting.
To be fair, though, within the context of that moment in the movie, they were supposed to perform at the awards.
Right, but they changed venue and they put on an impromptu concert at another place.
True. I mean, to be fair, there's a lot of the fans don't question moments that clearly are impossible and are definitely magic. So like their fans are not terribly bright. So I just don't think they put two and two together that it was just magic.
Which again, I understand why it's a kids movie, but
I mean, yeah. Also, yeah, suspend your disbelief, but no, that's not what this is about.
Yeah, but Genu. Okay, so the reason I love his ending is because in so many stories, people do horrible things. Horrible things. And just because they turn around at the end, it's like, oh, he's redeemed. It's like, no, Darth Vader killed a lot of people.
Yeah, some of them underaged.
Yeah. Kylo Ren killed and tortured a lot of people, which I like the fact that he died at the end of that trilogy. Spoiler alert for the piece of shit new Star Wars trilogy. But there's so many stories where it's like the person gets redeemed, right? And then it's suddenly okay. Like, oh, he's good now. And I like the fact that what this movie is subtly saying, at least the way I took it, is that there is no redemption for Genu.
Yeah.
There's no clean slate redemption, because here's the thing. Let's assume that he had lived through all this. He still lives with that guilt. There's nothing that can assuage that guilt. And true, well, he wasn't even really manipulated into that, which is why he feels so guilty about it, because it's not like, initially he frames it as Guimont tricked me. And if that were the case, then okay, there's redemption there, because you did not know. And this goes into the blog article I mentioned about how intent is really, really important here. Genu made the choice to abandon his family before he knew that the demon influence would do anything. What he feels guilty about has nothing to do with him being a demon, although it probably caused it, now that we know what we know about Guimont.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the idea is, like, you make the deal with it, and then the guilt and shame about the deal that you made slowly makes
is what turns you into a demon, which is why if you're a sociopath, you can make a deal with the devil and be okay.
Well, certainly this version of the devil would see it that way, What if you feel no? But I mean, I suppose that's something that thematically they could deal with in a sequel, where you're like, well, what happens if you don't feel shame?
Ooh, that'd be interesting. Yeah, what if the antagonist is someone who feels no shame at all?
But also, and to be fair, I don't know a ton. This is where, and this was a feeling I had the first time I watched it, where I was like, I don't know enough about Korean mythology to know this, but like, presumably, if this is a Christian allegory, if he's the devil, there is an opposite, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, a cheap, easy ending would be. I'm not saying they should have done this. I'm just saying
Jesus.
Well, I would that, or I was gonna say the mom and sister walk out and they're like, "Genu, we forgive you. We're okay in Korean heaven." They could have done that.
Would be the only way, but even then,
I'm not saying that would have been good, but
no, that would have been terrible, because the reason I like this ending is because, and to tie it into, because people are confused why I brought up that Godzilla movie. So that movie ends with one of his space human buddies being like, hey, I figured out a way to completely remake all of our tech using the Mechagodzilla metal. Like, I can do it. I figured out a way to do it. So how does Captain, what's his face? I forget his name, but Captain, main character.
I forget. I watched a lot of Godzilla movies, and that was
started with a T. But Captain, main character. His reaction to that is to mull it over for a while, and then steal the robot that's been reconstructed, the Gundam, and then fly it straight into Godzilla's face.
I do recall this. Yes.
And I finally understood what that movie was saying, because he's asking, like, some of the native characters who now presumably has a baby with. It's implied because one of them is pregnant. Or will have a baby. And the reason he does that is he is mulling over, he's asking himself, can I truly ever let go of my hatred? Not necessarily forgive, but that's like that's the furthest you could take that. But can I let go of my hatred for Godzilla? And if I can't, I'm going to lead at least some of these people to their deaths. Now, the question now is, can I let go of it and be okay with this life? And ultimately, he realizes that with the temptation of that technology, at his disposal. Because right now he's resigned to himself to the fact that I'm just going to live this primitive life and there's no way I can stand up to Godzilla. It's not even possible, so I'm good. But once that temptation returns, he's like, I can't let this go. And if these people have a chance of survival, I cannot be leading these people.
I can't be here being all a liability and whatnot.
Stop. Yeah, so he comes to that conclusion. Now, do I think suicide's the answer? No, but at least in the context of this movie, it's the only way he can guarantee the survival of his new family and his old family. Because he knows that he cannot let go of that. He cannot let go of that desire for revenge,
for that red hot vengeance that burns in his heart.
Yeah, and he understands that he has to break the cycle, and the only way to do that is like, yeah, he gets to say F you to Godzilla one more time, knowing full well he's not going to kill him. But if you're going to kill him, as we saw in Godzilla -1, flying a plane into his mouth is probably the best way to go about it. It's up there.
You got to get him from the inside. It's up there. I mean, I think that's one of 3 times that somebody flies into Godzilla's mouth.
I think so, yeah. And it's pretty effective in Godzilla -1, although he regenerates. But
he does. To quote Pokemon, it's super effective.
Super effective for a while, yeah. He's going to be regenerating that brainstem for a minute. But in Genu's case, there's nothing that Genu can do to escape what the source of his shame is. The only way out is... I don't mean to say it this way because I'm not glorifying it at all. The only way he can silence those voices, which is probably the best outcome, minus like probably a few decades worth of therapy, and then it's a maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, we don't know how demonology works in this context, so we don't even know if demons can find any sort of redemption.
I think it depends, because I'm assuming it depends, but I'm going to go with this.
Korean heaven, again.
I
don't know what they would call it.
That just makes me think of 21 Jump Street and Korean Jesus. Hey, Korean Jesus don't have time for your problems.
I didn't even think about that one. He's busy with Korea. You know what's really funny? Now that you've said that, because I always wondered, why is there a Korean Jesus? But now that you said that Christianity is really prevalent in Korea, that just totally explains Korean Jesus. You know, because he's busy doing Korean shit.
I have customers that I was invited to go to a Korean church, and I'm kind of like, am I allowed? I don't, I guess I'm allowed. But, you know, I don't know what makes it different, and I don't think they have a Korean rendering of Jesus, although maybe they do. I've never been inside a Korean church before.
I mean, it would be, offensive. It would be just as accurate as the white one.
Also fair. Very fair. But yeah, so Genu, I love the art. Now, I feel like I cheated myself a little bit because I knew going in about the truth about Genu, so I saw this movie in a way that was not intended.
That's so interesting. See, yeah, completely cold. I heard it was really good, and the minute TikTok freaks out about a movie, I need to watch it to tell TikTok why it's bad, and it's always a pleasant surprise when it's good, actually. But I was like, I need to be the one guy who's like, this movie is bad, so I went to this really cynically. And then, like, I don't remember at what point I was like, okay, no, I'm in. It might have been pretty immediately, where I was like, oh, all right, okay, I'm into this. I think one of my favorite lyrics is still, was it Nails It from my Napalm era? I just love that lyric so much.
Mixed feelings about that, because I know the origin of that line. It was actually somebody mishearing. Because she was mumbling because they didn't have the word yet, and then the sound engineer said, "Did you say napalm era?" He's like, "Because that's iconic," and I'm like, "Given the history of napalm, I don't." In that area of the world, I know it was more in Vietnam, but I believe it was used in Korea. I don't
believe
know.
It was.
I don't know that that's the best lyrical choice, but I get what it's saying because she's hot.
You know, she's fire. She's on fire.
She's fire.
It's fire. Yeah.
So I guess it works.
It's very much a Gen Z lyric, but it's a Gen Z lyric that works for me.
Is it's like, hey, historical thing that we don't fully understand. We're just going to put it in here.
But I mean, to be fair, that's probably. I know she is Korean, but I don't know about the woman who wrote the lyrics, but the director and the creator of the she is Canadian.
I think that the singers actually, all the singers and the engineers, I think, all kind of collaborated on the lyrics. I could be wrong,
believe so,
but I believe that's what I was told.
I'm gonna butcher them. EJ. I know that she was a K-pop star. Like she went through the An Academy or the Academy. I don't know what it was called, but I'm a big fan of Baby Metal. If you've never seen Baby Metal, you're doing yourself a disservice by not.
Oh, Metal the Fourth is a great album. Their most recent one.
I haven't really. I sort of fell off after. I forget her name. But one of the original ones left after she left, and they tried to make it 4 of them, and it just didn't work. About that era, I kind of dropped off a bit. But early Baby Metal is phenomenal. But they went through a similar process, and that's how they wound up being what they. So that's why I know what that is.
I'm sorry. I think not to. I can't remember her name. The girl that left. Not to disparage her in any way, but like Momo Metal is where it's at.
There was. It was also when they tried to like rebrand the band with them being we're serious now, and they did. I can't remember what song it was, but
they kind of do that with Metal the Fourth, but they still have. But here's a hot take for Baby Metal fans.
I'm surprised. This is another one of those genuine surprise moments. Jordan,
I love Baby Metal. Karate is one of the better songs of any.
That's my favorite Baby Metal album. I own that album. It's great.
It's up there. However, so the internet keeps saying that Momo Metal can scream, and I don't think she does. I don't think it's real.
So is she the one who? Because they went through a period where it was going to be the 2 girls, and then they had the 2 backups, and then they went back down to 3, and they had the new 3rd girl.
She's
Momo
the
Metal
new
is the new thing.
She's the new third girl.
Okay, yeah. To be fair, Sue Metal. That's the lead singer.
The lead vocalist.
Lead vocalist. They tried to say she could scream, and she was never very.
No, she can't. So, but the reason I say this is because so I see a lot of YouTube shorts out there that like show Momo Metal screaming, right? Screaming. But then I try to find songs where she screams, and I can't find them, except for in their new album, they have a song called San, or 3. And the chorus is basically her screaming, Ich Nisan, Ich Nisan. However, that is a collaboration with Slaughter to Prevail, which is, if I'm not mistaken, that's a Russian band who is known for their guttural screaming style.
Yeah.
So, I don't think she does it.
I'd have to listen to it. I haven't really. The last big song of theirs I was into was Elevator Girl, and the song where they had the guy rapping about chocolate. I just remember the chorus. His rap, it was like to 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 to. Oh, what was the name of that song? I don't remember.
It's not Give Me Chocolate, because that's a different song.
No, my favorite Baby Metal song is Road to Revolution. The one that sounds like a Dragon Force song.
That song.
The one that Herman helped them write.
They have one on the new album. I think it's like White Fire or something like that. That sounds just. I mean, it's an anime opening. It's not, but it sounds like a Gundam Wing anime opening in the best way.
I just respect the fact that once she kind of aged out of being an idol, they didn't like. There was a point where people were concerned that they were going to end it because they all got too old, and they didn't.
It's like, nah, man. That's what's awesome about metal. Just look at Metallica.
I mean, yeah.
There's no such thing as too old.
I mean,
for metal.
This isn't aside. This is a wild aside, and I promise to keep it short. But Through the Never is amazing. I love that movie. Just a solid movie. Solid concert movie that is also just a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Metal the Fourth is a really good album. It's got a lot of collaborations, though. But they're 80% of the album's amazing. There's some songs that I didn't really care for, but I mean, it's personal taste. But generally speaking, it's a really good album. And I like the fact that allegedly what they're trying to do is show that metal is universal and not just like. It's not a niche thing. It can be that's why there's so many collaborations from bands and people all over the world. Like they do covers with it's their German group Electric Electric Something Boy. I can't remember. They do Ratatata.
Oh yeah.
Which is, that song is so good, and it shouldn't be, but it is.
I mean, one of my favorite songs of theirs was when they did. Was it years ago? Oh, I don't know the name, but there was one where they swapped. They did it was Kimi no Guitar. It's one of the songs that they did in one of their Black Knight. And then that band did Give Me Chocolate, and their cover is way less good than Baby Lip Metal's cover of their song. It's actually really funny.
Right. And then they do a collaboration with Poppy, who, again, is somebody that shouldn't be as popular as she is, but she is. Like, she's really good. Like, I'm just saying, like, in this time, you wouldn't think screaming metal chicks were popular, but they're coming back. I
like Poppy's cover of all the things she said, so I get it.
I mean, I have to shout out Again and Forever's version of that, but yeah, hers is very good as well.
I mean, his is also my favorite. I mean, to be fair, I like a lot of his covers. I quite liked his cover, their cover of the Wake Up the Makeup.
Yeah, System of a Down.
Yes, I quite like that song.
As I keep saying, I hate that song, but that's the best version of that song that will ever be created because the song itself sucks, but you have done everything you possibly can other than write a new song.
Exactly. I agree. I concur.
Yeah.
So here's a pitch to tie this all back to K-pop Demon Hunters. What if...
Team up with Baby Metal?
I was going to be my pitch.
Do it. Do it. Sony, please.
Sony, get Baby Metal in there because, like... That again, you get some representation from some J-pop. It makes it a bit more international. I don't know how the Koreans and the Japanese get along. I presume much like every other country in that region of the world, they don't. Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say.
Well, okay, but here's the thing.
Better than China, I have to assume.
And again, take this with a massive grain of salt because I'm neither Korean, Japanese. I'm not even Asian. However, just looking at I know, shocker, right?
Shocking.
But just how many cultural elements Korea has borrowed recently, I'm not talking about back then when they didn't have a choice, but like even like Korean cartoons have an anime-esque style a lot of the times. Yeah, Korean manga, which is actually called Korean manga, so that's a thing. K-pop is an offshoot of J-pop, as far as I'm aware.
That's what I was going to say. I'm pretty sure K-pop comes from J-pop.
Yeah. I mean, J-pop is just Japan 15 years after what was big in the States, right? So, I mean, and that's kind of presumably still true to this day, which is why metal's much bigger over there than it is here right now.
Because I know a lot when I fell off of Baby Metal, they were in the midst of learning English. Like, is her English like good now?
Yeah, they're pretty solid now.
Like, because there was a point where like they would come out and they would do her every show. She'd do a little bit of her little English little monologue, and then I'd watch YouTube clips as it slowly got better, and it was like, oh no, she actually understands English now. It's wild.
Yeah, no, they give interviews in English now, which is pretty unedited interviews in English now. So
that's pretty good. That's pretty solid. Good for them, because the more they became an international band, the more they were doing international press. So,
dude, I'm not gonna lie, I would actually love to see a Huntrix Baby Metal team up.
I suspect, and this is just my theory, that we will see new music before we see a new movie. Like
sure, yeah, I think
like they'll probably do a follow-up album with like B-sides or something, because there's no Netflix, man. This is an aside, but it's gonna seem unrelated. It's gonna seem unrelated, but it's music related. But one of my favorite Netflix shows is a show called Julie and the Phantoms, and I really like the music in that show. And that show was about a band, and at the time, I was like, oh man, this is going to be huge. There's going to be 1,000 seasons of this. This band is going to tour. They're going to be massive. And then COVID happened. And nothing happened with it, and it got all canceled. And so I just think this is like another opportunity to be like, yeah, like get them in a studio, record a follow-up album, and like do a tour, do shorts. Like I saw that they're going to make a TV show. Like very rarely am I like merchandise the fuck out of this, but like cynically I'm like merchandise the fuck out of this.
Dude, I was so happy because when I was on vacation in Tennessee and all the little shops, they had K-pop Demon Hunter figures. I mean, they were everywhere.
Oh, it makes me so happy because, like, yeah, man, I'm an equal opportunity guy. I want shit for the girls. Like, I want awesome shit for the girls. Like,
but I mean, Justin, I don't think you understand me when I say it was everywhere in Tennessee.
Oh, sorry, I just connected with that. Yeah, no, yeah. You would, yeah, that's a valid point. It's Tennessee.
So I just imagine a bunch of people being like, K-pop Demon Hunters, what's a K-pop? Is that like one of them Funko things?
See, my brain is, I'm Canadian. I'm immediately like, they're like, oh, they're not nearly related enough. I'm sorry, they're not sisters.
They got a lesbian version of that? I mean, probably.
Probably.
Certainly by now, I would think so. But anyway.
By now, yeah. There's an inappropriate version of that somewhere on the internet somewhere.
Yep.
But no, you're right. That is impressive. Like, the fact that people in Tennessee are super...
Which is the fact that there's some, like, 7-year-old Tennessean girl singing Golden in a thick Southern accent is just...
That does make me happy.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. And singing Soda Pop with the Korean... Which there's Korean and Golden too.
Every time I see someone do a cover of this and they're doing the Korean, it makes me.
But here's how seamless it truly is, because my wife doesn't speak English fluently, but she likes Soda Pop, and I actually pointed out to her. I said, "No, that's Korean."
A lot of that's Korean, yeah. That one is probably the most Korean. The Saja Boy songs are more Korean heavy than than Huntrix. For some reason, I'd be curious as to know why that is.
They're older.
Oh, that's interesting. That's a good point. Yeah,
Interesting. But yeah, no, gushing more about Genu. Love his character, love his arc. Just there's so much to gush about.
I would have liked him to get a solo. If I were to add,
he kinda gets one. And the singing voice gets to show off vocally a lot with him, which is nice.
Yeah, like that's my one thing is like I do wish there were a bit more parallels in terms of the music between him and Rumi. Like, yeah, I do kind of wish he had his own song that was kind of like his version
He does have his own. It's brief, but he does have his own song at the very beginning when he's introduced. He does have that little beat.
True. Maybe that was a bit more expand. But like again, sequel. They're talking about a TV show. A TV show is going to be real interesting. I would like to see like a. Are you familiar with Totally Spies?
I'm familiar with it. I know what it is, but I didn't watch it.
Not me neither, not really, but that's kind of what a show about this kind of feels like that would be.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah. Although, I'm given to understand that show actually was really ahead of its time.
I was not. I was more of a Martin Mystery guy.
Well, what I mean by that is like it had a quasi anime influence style at a time where it really wasn't a thing you saw in American animation. I've also been made to understand that it was kind of like unintentionally really sexual.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
The K-pop. It also reminded me of not only Totally Spies, but also reminded me of Teen Titans, but like the good one, not the bad one.
Yeah, we don't talk about Teen Titans Go. In fact, I hate that show for multiple reasons. It took away two of the better shows that Cartoon Network ever did. Certainly Warner Brothers ever did. Yes,
it did. It's the reason why Teen Titans Young Justice got canceled, which is the reason why I will forever resent it.
Yeah, fuck that. Fuck that show.
That and it's the ultimate lesson in just because you lampshade something doesn't make it not bad.
Okay, but I actually have to say one thing about Teen Titans Go, and keep in mind, I hate that show. It can be funny at times, not the slapstick, because they do. I forget what the context of it. Like, it's so stupid, but the writers are so clever. They did this bit in one episode where the Titans need money, and it becomes an economics lesson.
That's
like Robin goes through the entire process of how you make money with oil, and then at the end of this, at the end of this really long, drawn out, and surprisingly accurate explanation, he's like, they're like, great, how long will that take? He's like, probably about 65 million years.
I won't deny that the movie made me laugh. One of my favorite jokes in the movie is where they're being chased by Batman, and Batman's just like, Batman returns! And then Starfire's like, it just seems like the Batman is always returning. And
So I feel like I should give it a chance, because the tidbits I have seen, most of them have been like, that's genuinely funny.
Jordan asserts that it's funny, but I believe I hate it.
Yeah, I hate it on principle because it took Young Justice away from me. Now, granted, we did get 2 more seasons, which are good. There's some jarring moments, but that we're not talking about Young Justice. We're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters.
But the sense of humor and its ability to switch between being funny, like genuinely really funny, and serious. That balance this is like, it's as much as it's a Gen Z coded movie. It's so millennial in its sort of storytelling.
Well, because the people that created it are probably later millennials, or at least mid millennials. Well, no, it makes sense. I think they're actually elder millennials, but it shows. It's like you said, it's very Gen Z coded, but at its core, it's a very millennial movie.
Yeah, it's got that. It's like from like that mid to late 2000s when I was like 15, 16.
Yeah,
where it was like this is for kids, but it's got a bit more depth. It's 2003 Turtles, it's Dragon Ball, it's like it's a little more Sailor Moon.
Yeah, well, it's like I said at the beginning. This movie is way deeper than you would think it is.
Yeah.
Especially it's dealing with shame, and I'm not. It's never on the nose, but it gets very close a couple of times. But again, I'm assuming that's because of the kids.
You gotta keep in mind the target audience. It's one of those for sure.
Because there's a moment where Jinu's like, "That's good," because it means she has shame, and I'm like, "You're right on the line of being on the nose here." However, I get it for the kids because they just want to make sure the kids, hey kids, we're talking about shame. Just
in case you didn't get it.
Just in case you're too busy.
You'll let me know if you agree with this, because the thing I said about this, I was like, the one thing. Now, to be fair, I have a very strange sense of humor, so that could absolutely play into this. But the one thing that I would say would preclude a person from enjoying this movie is whether or not you like K-pop. If you really don't like I'm talking really don't like K-pop, you won't enjoy this. But
I wouldn't go that far. I wouldn't go that far because I don't love it.
I don't either.
I don't really like it per se, but it would make the case that maybe this isn't even really K-pop because the music's pretty deep.
I mean, I do. I think it definitely has the vibe of K-pop, but yeah, or I don't know, pop music generally. I don't know. I was like, yeah, it's kind of one of those movies that's got a little something for everybody. Like I really like the music, unironically. So like, when I'm watching this, I'm like. It's one of those movies where I can see why people absolutely love it, and I totally understand it. But then in the same next breath, I'm like, I get why a person might not like this. It's one of those movies.
I think that if you give this movie an honest-to-goodness chance, you will like it, at least on some level. If nothing else, I mean, really, when you watch it, really pay attention during your idol, because they do a lot of really subtle animation work that is... because what they do with the Saja boys and their demon forms is really, and the whole performance, the
choreography is amazing.
Pay attention to the lyrics. It's a really, really, if you like to nerd out on how movies are made and film language, it's so good.
I was impressed by how much I didn't expect anything. I think I love a movie that subverts my expectations, always.
Yeah, very much so. So I guess sort of in closing, so that we don't just keep circularly gushing. Yeah. That sounded dirty.
That sounded inappropriate.
Inappropriate, totes and goats, inappropriate. The verdict is watch K-pop Demon Hunters, because...
Yeah, it's on Netflix. I'd really like the next one to go to theaters.
It's on the Netflix!
It's on the Netflix. It's one of... Look, I keep saying this, but Netflix is, nailing it with animated movies. I have a list of just surprisingly good animated movies from Netflix that this is on. Leo, Orion in the Dark.
Leo looks really good.
Leo is really good. Orion in the Dark is really good. There was one more that was in there. That was really, really good. There's one, Klaus, that's about Santa Claus. That's really, really good.
Ooh, really? Okay.
Yeah, really good. Surprisingly good.
when Netflix hits a home run, they generally it's
Wendell
generally
and Wild. That was the last
okay.
one.
Well, funnily enough, I'm kind of surprised, like you said, I'm kind of surprised Netflix doesn't have some sort of theater distribution. They got something in the works because when they came out with their version of All Quiet on the Western Front, it had a limited theatrical release.
It needs to. It needs. Most of their movies will get a very limited release because it needs to in order to qualify for the Oscars.
That is valid.
Which is why I think it's Quentin Tarantino. No, it's James Cameron. James Cameron went on this tirade about how Netflix movies shouldn't be allowed to be nominated for Oscars, and I both agree and don't agree at the same time.
Eat a dick, Avatar. Which actually, I have to admit, I saw the trailer for the new one. It actually looks pretty interesting.
My favorite bit about it is how he promised us 4 and 5, and now in every press junket, he's like, "Well, I don't want to make these movies until I die, so this is probably actually the last one."
I think if it is, that's okay.
I'm okay with it. Yeah.
Well,
I was just excited for girl Avatar to be evil. That's gonna be fun.
And stupid me, I completely somehow missed the fact in Avatar 2, Free Willy in Space, that their oldest son dies.
Yeah, the thing is, none of those movies are memorable enough that but also at least this one didn't take 13 years to make. So
this is fair. Also, fire effects are way easier to do than water. So.
Also very true. But I'm
just wondering what movie this one's ripping off. Like, is this one going to rip off Die Hard or something? Because the first one's Dances with Wolves, the second one's Free Willy, and this one, where are we going?
My favorite is just now there's evil ones. It's just so cliched.
Actually, I'm gonna give James Cameron a bit of a nod here. If he's doing what I think he's doing, then I'm okay with it. I think you could still be a little bit less on the nose, but hey, I think he might actually be making sort of a not an allegory. What am I going to? I guess it would be an allegory of the Native American experience in North America.
I don't think he is intentionally because
I don't think he's intentionally.
I don't know. It's hard to know with James Cameron because he's
okay. So
if it were Michael Bay, it'd be a little bit no, there's no way. But with James Cameron,
let me lay this out, and then we'll say our final piece about K-pop Demon Hunters, and we'll let you all go. So in the first one, you have what is effectively the first major conflict because there have been skirmishes up to this point between the Na'vi, the natives, and the colonists. I'm not going to call them colonizers because I hate that word, but the colonists. And you have your first major engagement because the first battle of which I think it is called the Battle of the Trees, isn't it? But anyway,
I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Since I've seen that movie.
Okay, so then you have the family with the blue-white savior. They leave to escape.
Kevin Costner.
Kevin Costner. Yes, you have blue Kevin Costner. They leave and they say, "Cool, we're just going to make a new life," and then the threat follows them there. And now you're going to have native collaborators, which is the next step in that story. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I shouldn't even say I'm excited. I'm intrigued, but I'm going to see it because my wife wants to see it because she really likes the Avatar movies. So.
I was trying to talk Jordan into it for content. It's a hard sell because of how long they are.
You know what, Jordan? Bite the bullet. You got content to make. If nothing else,
content.
You can talk about 7-foot Smurfs. I mean, what more do you want?
I mean, this weekend hey, since we're at the end of this promo for this weekend, me and Jordan are going to talk about the algorithmically friendly Five Nights at Freddy's movie.
I saw that trailer and I'm just like, no, absolutely not.
I mean, they do that in Minecraft as stupid well. Like all my Five Nights at Freddy's videos do over 1,000 views. It's kind of hilarious.
Yeah, well, hopefully this one does. But like I said, and I'll leave you with this. Definitely give K-pop Demon Hunters a try. It'll be better than you think it is if you're hesitant. And if you just
got a adolescent girl and you're looking for a movie to bond over, this is the one.
Yeah, this one will do it. This one will do the trick.
That's what I would say. If you've got girls and you're like, oh my god, I have to watch a movie with them and I don't want to watch My Little Pony, this is much better than that. Although My Little Pony Friendship and Magic is actually allegedly good. But neither here nor there.
I've actually been, well, you have to represent your brony fans because apparently they are a strong segment of your fan base. But
they are, yeah, they're very, very kind. Apparently their movie is good.
No, I've actually been told. Well, not been told, but I've heard from more than a few people that My Little Pony is actually deceptively, like, it's way better than you think it's going to be.
But, like, regardless, this is the one where it's honestly not that bad. It's
yeah,
this one's a decent time.
This one's pretty solid. But thank you for watching this episode of the Average Intelligence Podcast. Hopefully you're a little bit less. Yeah, hopefully you're a little bit less average and a little bit more intelligent. Probably not this week because we talked about an animated movie about K-pop demon hunting singers.
We learned a ton about it.
That's true. We did. We went deep. We went all the way down below the Han Moon on this one.
It's true. It's true. We looked Gwen right in the face and we went, dig that movie.
It's always like, My Little Soda Pop. It's catchy. That just makes me think that the devil himself probably has a song where he's just like,
oh, for sure.
It's probably a Christian song. But anyway, check out the Spur of the Moment podcast and get your copy of Revival, especially if you really like K-pop Demon Hunters. It's not the same, obviously, but it's similar. It's good stuff.
Relevant.
It is thematically relevant. And we will see you guys next week. I don't know what we're doing yet, but we will come up with something. It kind of depends on what Trump does tomorrow. We always say on this podcast, we always leave room for something crazy to happen that we will shoehorn in if need be. But we will see you guys next week. And until then, just watch it. Watch K-pop Demon Hunters. You'll like it.